It's the start of a new month and one that celebrates our history as a people and country. October is Heritage Month, so stay tuned throughout the period for features on our heroes, significant places and cultural experiences that make us stand out as a people. Hello, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Welcome.
Jamaica will host the second Tourism Resilience Summit of the Americas on October 9 and 10. The two-day summit seeks to explore tourism climatic resilience initiatives from around the world. This game-changing summit is being held under the theme, Building Tourism Resilience for Sustainable Futures. Global and regional speakers will share best practices on how to recover from man-made and natural tourism disruptions. That's the second Tourism Resilience Summit of the Americas on October 9 and 10 at the University of the West Indies Regional Headquarters in Kingston, Jamaica. The event is open to the public.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, October 3. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has expressed confidence in the country's ability to satisfy 50% of its energy needs using renewable sources by 2030. Mr. Holness's certainty was buoyed by Wednesday's opening of the Paradise Park Solar Farm in Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland. With 156,000 solar panels, the farm has the capacity to supply 37 megawatts of electricity to the national grid. Mr. Holness used the opening to call for greater investments in clean energy projects on the island.
This is a signal to investors. It's a signal to the OUR. It's a signal to JPS. It's a signal to our financial market. It is a signal to the citizens of the country that your government is doing everything it can to ensure that we are protecting our own environment by using cleaner energy, but that we are also being good public citizens by ensuring that this global public good called the climate is protected.
17% of the country's electricity comes from wind, solar, and hydropower. The Paradise Park Solar Farm was built at a cost of $8.6 billion through a partnership involving the Development Bank of Jamaica, Eight Rivers Energy Company, and French company Neonen. The Eight Rivers Energy Company meanwhile donated $4 million to assist the Savannah Lamar Hospital provide services to the community. The government and the opposition are working to reach a consensus on the island's approach to tackling crime. The agreement will be similar to the collaborative approach taken with the recently finalized economic program with the International Monetary Fund. Giving the update in Parliament Tuesday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said work began in August through the National Partnership Council.
Since then, I would say significant work has been done, and the mechanism is starting to be put in place, and I will be meeting with the leader of the opposition. We will hopefully reach some consensus as to how we should move forward. And I think Jamaica will look at us in a far better light.
An early warning cyber threat system is now being tested by the Jamaica Cyber Incident Response Team, JA-CERT. Aimed at improving the island's cybersecurity infrastructure, the system will identify and neutralize cyber threats.
As government and as a government entity, we are working to ensure that we have that robust framework to protect our country, our people's data from cyber criminals.
Head of JA-CERT, Dr. Munifia Hewling, was speaking at the opening of a two-day cybersecurity and public safety symposium Monday. Staged by the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology, the event saw a number of local, regional, and international cyber specialists sharing expertise in the sector. In the meantime, Dr. Hewling revealed that the Honeypot computer security system was being set up in government agencies island-wide to identify cyber threats. Honeypot is a computer security mechanism set to detect and deflect, or in some cases counteract attempts at unauthorized use of information systems. In other news, Jamaica is on track to establish a phytomedicine and medical cannabis institute. Phytomedicine is a plant-based traditional medicinal practice which utilizes various plant materials in preventative and therapeutic processes. In making the announcement, Industry and Commerce Minister Audley Shaw says the institute is part of a research partnership with Harvard International Phytomedicine and Medical Cannabis Institute. Minister Shaw says the partnership will be coordinated to ensure there is economic gain for all stakeholders, particularly farmers and traditional herbalists.
Jamaica was chosen to be a part of the International Phytomedicine and Medicinal Institute with the technology and research of Harvard and the science of all herbs will take plant-based medicine and extracts to a new dimension.
Minister Shaw was speaking at a press conference on Tuesday at the ministry's office on Hope Road. Through the partnership, Jamaica's vast botanical resources and their natural medicinal properties will be explored to develop new nutraceutical and pharmaceutical products. Government has donated a 1,000-gallon water tank to the Caribbean Christian Center for the Deaf to assist with the water shortage at the facility. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Pernell Charles Jr., says the school will be getting 2 additional 200-gallon water tanks soon. Minister Charles also told the gathering that the National Water Commission would be carrying out an assessment of the school's water supply system. Sensitization sessions on water conservation will also be conducted with the students.
We also know that this area is challenged, not just the school. And so we are working to implement the immediate measures to give as much relief as possible. And our long-term goal is to develop a diversified and more resilient system. So all Jamaicans that are within our utility service will get consistent delivery of water.
And finally, the National Water Commission has relaxed its water restriction measures in the corporate area. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the decision follows an increase in rainfall and water levels at the corporate area's 2 main water supply systems. Water levels at the Hermitage Dam is currently at 54%, while the Mona Dam is at 72% of capacity.
I think the level of frustration that the public is experiencing is tremendously high, and it would be not easy to explain to people why we're having rain and then they still can't get water. So we will have to relax, but we still are very cautious. So we're not going to just totally abandon all our conservation methods, but we will relax so that people can get water now.
Mr. Holness was speaking in Parliament Tuesday. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Businesses operating within parishes under the state of emergency, your closing time has been extended. In St. Catherine and Clarendon, clubs, fast food restaurants, petrol stations, and establishments operating under a tavern license, your opening hours are 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. For supermarkets, grocery shops, haberdasheries, and other businesses, opening hours are 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. In Westmoreland, Hanover, and St. James, business closing time is between 10 p.m. and midnight.
It's time to get an update from the National Works Agency on roadworks in the corporate area. We also talk traffic management with the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
Hello and welcome to OPM Connect, the program that helps you understand the activities and programs of the government. I'm Naomi Francis. Today we speak traffic management. What is being done to ease traffic congestion in the corporate area, and how do we create greater efficiencies in traffic flow? We're pleased to be joined by Assistant Commissioner of Police Dr. Kevin Blake, and he's the head of the Constabulary's Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, as well as the Planning, Research and Development Branch. And we also have Mr. Stephen Shaw, the Manager of Communication and Customer Services at the National Works Agency. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today on OPM Connect. Traffic management, a very, very passionate discussion taking place across the country now. First of all, I want to get an understanding of about how many motorists, especially in the corporate area, use the roads on a daily basis, Mr. Shaw.
I can tell you about the major corridors.
Yes.
The Mandela Highway, for example, is the corridor that has the most traffic, some 80,000 vehicles. The Constant Spring Road has about 45,000 vehicles. And between these two corridors, we would have the bulk of the motor vehicles in the corporate area. Of course, you have vehicles being distributed along Washington Boulevard, along Hagley Park Road, along Marcus Garvey Drive. But these two that I mentioned earlier are by far the ones that you will see the most vehicles on a daily basis.
Wow. So many times we hear and we feel and see it as every single motorist who travel on the nation street, whether it's in the corporate area or rural towns, there is a sense that, boy, we're spending just too much time in the traffic. So ACP, as a new man at PSTEB, help us understand what are the major issues in your mind in terms of dealing with traffic management, and how do you plan about improving it?
Okay, all right, thank you, and thank you for having me. Well, a lot of the issues in the past have been caused by the type of roads that we have, and also the type of behavior that we see operating on the road. I'm very heartened and happy to see the extensive road work that is taking place now, because that has and will alleviate a lot of the challenges. When you have resources, when you have the number of vehicles that was quoted by Mr. Shaw, our infrastructure has to be able to accommodate that. And coupled with that, what makes it even more difficult is when persons do not use the roadway as is envisioned. And so that was our major challenge. So we're getting better roads now. We have dual carriage. We have medians in the road that prevent persons from driving there on the wrong side of the road. And so the construction, the engineering of the infrastructure has helped us somewhat in securing compliance on the road and safer road usage. It helps the police also, because these are some areas and some things that police would have to be significantly concerned about and stuff. So some of that challenge is there, has been alleviated, or is being alleviated from the road construction that is taking place.
That's for the major areas, the corporate area, for example, and some of the major towns where that kind of work is taking place. Right.
We still, in areas where we don't have that, we still have challenge. We still have to place police there. Unfortunately, our society is one where you have to place police almost everywhere in order to ensure compliance, or even engineering compliance in the infrastructure. It is not for the larger motoring public. It's usually for persons who choose not to abide by the rules of the road. But Jamaica is different. We have so many persons who choose to disobey the road code. So it becomes a little more challenging for us as a society. However, there is going to be congestion because it is a function of the number of vehicles and the capacity of our infrastructure. And so we're going to have congestion. I think what is important to people and what we aim to do, even with that, is to ensure that there is smooth flow, that we don't have blocked intersections, that we don't have people undertaking, that we don't have persons endangering others whilst they try to safely commute to where they want to go.
We really have to ask ACP, because motorists, pedestrians, everybody see breaches on a daily, hourly, even minutely basis on the streets, and people feel like nothing is being done. You are now at the helm of PSTEB. What are those changes that you intend to bring about to ensure that, one, there's not just a cultural change and people think it, but also they will see the penalties coming as well?
All right. First of all, I hate to sound like a scratch record, but go back to the construction of the roadway. It gives us some breathing space.
Yes.
And if you notice, we're doing some more enforcement. Enforcement has ramped up somewhat. As much as you see us out there on the street at intersections, there are enforcement. In terms of change in behavior and dealing with this situation, there are several things that we're doing. One of the first thing is to establish the type of synergy and alliance with other agencies that have part of the responsibility for that behavioral change on the road. And so when you look at, for example, each year we have an average of 500,000 tickets issued. 500,000 tickets.
500,000 tickets?
Yes, on average. That is 500,000 times enforcement took place. It is not so much to come here and tell you that, okay, we're going to be ramping up and we're going to be enforcing more and stuff like that. All the nice things that people want to hear. Of course, we're going to do all of that. But we also understand that we have a responsibility as an organization. We take ownership for this. But we also recognize that there are other agencies that have to play their part. And I've already started the dialogue. Steve and I think I call Stephen more often than anybody else. We speak every single day, almost every single day. I've had dialogue with the Transport Authority. I've had dialogue with Dr. Lucian Jones. So we look at everywhere and see how all of us can come together.
Stephen, an update on roadworks, not just in the corporate area in terms of completion, but across the country for the major road areas.
We have about 5 legacy projects that we are executing, all with the exception of Camp Road are in a significant state of being completed.
So we're talking about Constant Spring
Road, Hagley Park Road, Mandela Highway, Ferris to Macfield over in Westmoreland, and there's Camp Road.
Yes.
Now, we believe that by the end of October, we'll be in a very good place, because by that time, the second lift of asphalt should be on all these roads, and that will give the motoring public a significant amount of ease. We also believe that by that time, intersections that we are going to be signalizing, meaning putting up new signals, those should also be up. Sidewalk infrastructure should be significantly in. And what should be outstanding at that time would be minor things that won't cause persons to lose any time at work, so to speak, or won't cause any undue hardship for persons wishing to walk along the road. And we believe that once we're able to accomplish these, then the public will start to see, well, not start, they will see the full gamut of the benefits that we set ourselves to provide them when we started all of these projects.
I have to squeeze this one in terms of pedestrian crossings and sidewalks especially. You alluded to it a while ago, but just to reassure the public that those that have not been installed certainly will be.
All the areas that we are actually pushing ahead with the installation of sidewalks. Where persons may see outstanding sidewalks now is where some outstanding work is to be done, either by way of cables to be run by the telecommunication companies, or there are connections to be made by the Water Commission to provide homes and businesses with water onto the new system, because there are new systems, water systems and sewer systems along these roads as well. And so you have to then abandon the old, put people on the new, and ensure that they get the full benefits, maximum benefits from the capital expenditure that the government has undertaken.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. We really appreciate it, and continue doing the good work that you do. And that's it for another edition of OPM Connect. Join us next week as we have another interesting discussion.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force's Crime and Violence Data Bank is being improved with support from the Jamaica Social Investment Fund. This partnership will ensure accuracy in data collection, entry, and dissemination.
The Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, is helping to build safer communities through the Jamaica Crime Observatory Enhancement Project. Established in 2011, the Jamaica Crime Observatory is a web-based crime and violence data bank hosted by the Ministry of National Security.
The project is seeking to enhance the capacity of the Ministry of National Security, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and a number of other stakeholders in their response to data collection, data entry, data dissemination, and data analysis. This is a World Bank-funded initiative. It is valued at 44 million Jamaican dollars.
The upgrade to the system falls under JSIF's Integrated Community Development Project ICDP. The aim of the ICDP is to improve basic infrastructure and social services delivered to 18 targeted at-risk communities. JSIF seeks to use data from the Crime Observatory to inform the planning of social and technical interventions to be implemented in these communities. To ensure a concerted approach towards crime prevention and management, a number of government entities supply statistics to the Crime Observatory. These include the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the Ministry of Health, the Registrar General's Department, and the Institute of Forensic Science and Legal Medicine.
We collect data from murder statistics to sexual offenses, suicide, traffic fatalities, hospital data, fatal shootings for various parishes in Jamaica.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, is the primary source of data for the observatory. Under the project, the Statistics and Information Management Unit of the JCF has received handheld GPS devices to assist in increasing the accuracy of data collected.
From the perspective of the crime scene, the forensic crime scene analysts utilize the handheld devices provided by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund to map the exact location of each crime. The devices are also able to take photographs of the environment within which the crime occur. With that information, the analysts are able to get a better context within which the crime occur. And that has been very significant in our analysis process.
In addition, the gadget also assists us to be able to do analysis, temporal analysis of the time crime takes place. If you plot those information on a graph, you can see over a period of time, you can be able to determine trend, so you can do trend analysis.
As part of the JSIF funding, the unit also received laptops, desktop computers, firewall devices, servers, UPS devices, and software packages to improve the efficiency of processing the data collected.
It allows us to provide data to the Crime Observatory in a much faster turnaround time than the monthly cycle that we usually provide the data to the Crime Observatory.
Additionally, 2 data entry clerks have been employed by the unit to assist with the timely input of information into the system. The Ministry of National Security will also receive funding to engage the services of a crime analyst.
What the engagement of the crime analyst will do is that they will help with better forecasting and predicting utilizing data which is in the Crime Observatory.
The project, which started in 2017, will also fund the training of 7 Ministry of National Security staff and 8 persons from the Jamaica Constabulary Force in the areas of system maintenance, spatial analysis, and the use of ArcGIS software technology. Improvements to the Jamaica Crime Observatory are essential to various stakeholders in the formulation of policies and strategies to keep Jamaicans safe.
What the Crime Observatory is able to do is provide us with good, timely, accurate data for us able to craft our policies, and from crafting our policies we're able to then craft acceptable strategies to help with the crime and violence and citizen security.
With geographic information system, we can actually pinpoint the exact location of a crime. We can pinpoint the area, such as a shop or a bar, that is likely to be affected by a particular type of crime, which means that we can practice preventative policing. We can actually preempt what is likely to take place, put in strategy in order to prevent those occurrences.
Through the Jamaica Crime Observatory Enhancement Project, the Jamaica Social Investment Fund is enhancing the efficient collection and analysis of crime and violence statistics, building on the capacity of the government to better plan crime-fighting strategies.
The National Health Fund NHF has increased its subsidy for medication for children with NHF cards by 100%. Parents and caregivers, as of September 1, 2016, you should save more when purchasing pharmaceuticals for NHF beneficiaries 0 to 18 years old. Now you'll pay even less than 20% out of pocket when you purchase medication to keep your child healthy.
We feel that children with chronic illnesses are a vulnerable group in society. And also because we know that it is tough on parents, some of whom have more than one child under our program with chronic illnesses, to pay for their medication so that they can live useful lives. The cost of this program is estimated to be about $70 million per year, and that takes into account the fact that we think that more and more parents will register their children because of the increased benefits.
It will cost the NHF $44 million to provide this extra benefit. Through this increased spending, the fund is broadening access to vital medication for approximately 12,000 NHF beneficiaries currently enrolled in the program. A wide range of conditions are covered, including arthritis, asthma, diabetes, epilepsy, glaucoma, sickle cell, hypertension, ischemic heart disease, and psychosis. You'll save big when you present your child's NHF card at any pharmacy to fill his or her prescription. There's no need for a new card. All changes will be automatically applied. However, if you don't have one, simply fill out the application form available at NHF offices, pharmacies, or doctor's offices. Your child must have a TRN and a doctor must complete the form to indicate what medical condition exists. Once that's done, go ahead and submit the completed document to the NHF either in person or by mail.
My daughter was diagnosed with epilepsy about 6 months ago. Since then, she's been on medication, which usually costs about $10,000 per month. Since I've got my NHF card, I pay about $1,200 a month for medication. First month when I had to pay $10,000, I had to buy the medication every week because I couldn't buy it all at once. So it really does help. It helps and it saves a lot. I think that's a great benefit for any parent that even has a child with another critical illness.
It will help other parents who having a difficult times with children with serious illness. I would suggest for them to sign up for an NHF. They will definitely benefit from it because I have benefit with my son. My child is asthmatic, so I signed up for it and I'm now paying $106. Normally I would have paid $5,000 and trust me, it has taken a lot of stress out of me.
The National Health Fund, taking a healthy interest in you. For more information on the fund and related benefits, call 906-1106 or visit the NHF's website, nhf.org.jm.
As we close today's show, here's a reminder to stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm. And while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via tweet at JIS News. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.